Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. So we've talked a little bit about why you should adopt new technologies, and we talked about, well, how do you go about selecting new technologies. Let's talk about, once you get it, implementing it, rolling it out. Because no matter how good the technology is, if you don't have a good solid implementation and you don't have a good change management strategy and you don't roll it out to your users appropriately, you're not going to get the benefits, and you're not going to realize the potential of that investment. So we'll start with you this time, Cassie. Tell me a little bit about some of the best practices or approaches that you've used to kind of ensure a solid implementation, good change management, rollout to users. What's worked for you? Advice.
Yeah, well, we've already hit on the fact that the construction industry kind of lags in technology. It's pen to paper kind of approach, and especially not just with our vendors and our clients, but our employees. They're the ones on the job sites. They don't want to be carrying around an iPad to do something. So the key for all of that for us has been communication, open and honest communication with our employees, letting them know, hey, this is the direction we're going. What would you like to see out of it? What would help you in the field? What is going to make your job easier? With our customers and vendors, we have had to be very proactive in saying, again, hey, we're headed in this direction. It's going to be a lot of you uploading stuff, a lot of us communicating electronically, giving you a portal to look at. And there has been a big chunk of resistance there. Just from the digital literacy part of it, a lot of people don't understand how to do those things, why it's important. They have no idea, what we're really doing. They think when we ask for their direct deposit information, we're going to be pulling money out of their account, And so you have to sit down and make the decision, okay, are we just sending these emails out and telling them and they get on board or they don't? Or are we going to take the time to schedule a meeting with them, let them know every step of the way what's going on? Our approach was to notify our vendors and customers and say, hey, we'd love to sit down with you one-on-one and walk you through this. It's a huge time lift on the front end, but on the back end, it's going to increase our efficiency. It's going to allow us to do those jobs quicker with more accuracy. And we're building that rapport with the client. We're not just saying, hey, use this digital stuff, get on board or get out. We're really making it an experience for them and coaching them and encouraging them. Same with our employees. My production team, I love them. They are so wonderful at what they do. I couldn't do what they do, but their strengths are not in that aspect. They're not super digital. And so getting them to understand, manipulating the systems and using those Excel sheets and being able to upload those estimates, right off the template has been a challenge, but they have responded well because along the way, we've said, hey, here's where we're going. Let's look at this together. Let's not implement it yet. Let's talk about it. Let's train on it. And then here's our deadline to do that. Instead of just shooting an email, hey, start doing this in 5 days, keep your questions to yourself,
Right.
So any type of change management, communication is incredibly important.
Yes, yeah, getting their buy-in up front and
Absolutely.
then explaining why and what's going to happen, and then
Yes.
really kind of delivering on that. So that's great. Your perspective from an industry.
I mean, you're seeing the same thing, especially from the small mid-sized contractors, that the wins come from the companies who have partnerships, not selling you technology. Because unlike, for example, American Airlines, if I have a problem, well, email this, email this. I'm never talking to a person. But contractors in the field, especially the small mid-sized guys, if they're just bringing on technology, they want to be able to call their partner and get responses immediately. They want to implement this tech right away. They want to understand that someone is there for support, but also that there is trust and transparency. That does not exist at all the companies out there. And you're seeing that separation from the winners and the losers in my eyes. The guys who are really winning in kind of I would say that just all technologies, not even just digitization, are the ones who are being good partners. And this industry may be very big. It's also very small, especially in the association world. So, people talk, and that customer support is so paramount, good or bad. If you have good customer support, to me, that's the biggest lift. And when you're vetting a technology company, asking those questions, are you going to be available every day of the week at these hours? Who can I call? Can I get a direct line? Can you guys help me with the training? How are you going to do that? How are you going to get my team up to speed so that they're a partner of yours to be there for the success of your business, not someone sold you it, then that person disappears forever. Now a new person comes in and just says, hey, it's that renewal time of year. We need to up your, up your ante 5 times the price. By the way, we're not giving you anything new, and there's no context. By the way, my name's George. So like, there's some of that's been lost, and some of there's a lot of money in construction tech, and so there's this extra level of aggressiveness. So I think you need to ask those questions. And transparency, trust, and partnering is just paramount. You don't want to be blindsided on either end. And then that goes back to what you said, culturally. You've got to get everyone on board. I talked 5 years ago about, companies having a technology champion. I think it goes much deeper now. Now it's multiple technology champions and getting buy-in from everybody because the investments are bigger. There are now technology budgets at contractors of all sizes, and everybody getting on board and being enthusiastic about it, but also having a voice. It can't just be the CEO says we're using this solution because our competitors are using it or because one person in the company used it. So that culture is key, and it doesn't matter the size of company. And then I think the leaders aren't the ones who are investing in the most tech. They're the ones who are planning for the future. So like I gave the drone example. I would say like one company I'm thinking of, I view them as leaders because they're starting to down all their DJI drones because even though there's not another solution, they're preparing for it. And they may take, a small loss, but they're going out there looking for other solutions. And, as you plan ahead in like the artificial intelligence world, that's the other scary thing going on because every company is an AI company. But most contractors, I think, would benefit from just educating their teams about what does AI do, what does it mean, and getting some foundational level education on what AI is, and then don't change your tech stack. Use AI as a tool to enhance what your current tech stack is, because some of these AI tools, I mean, I could take one of these free tools like Claude AI, and I can make a whole personalized safety dashboard just by plugging in raw data. Now, anything with AI, I think you need to trust but verify. But there's some great things to use out there, and the capabilities are going to be endless. But I think we can't forget that step of let's understand what AI is before we start buying the next greatest AI tool and just being sold on it. Yeah. I think everyone's got to have a strategy, a plan, and understand how it's going to benefit them on multiple fronts. No one just goes from pen and paper to spending millions of dollars on robotics. There's a whole
there's a
plan in
step.
between.
One of the things that Matt touched on that I just want to say real quick, he was talking about the training and having someone to partner with. Sage has probably the best help desk, Sage University training tools, resources I have ever seen. And anytime I have thought, I don't know how to do this, I go to that help desk, the little question mark, and I have never not found an answer there, which is huge when you're trying to kind of implement things on the back end, do some things. Hey, how is this going to work? What's the process here? The templates. I mean, everything is just there ready for you. So that has been a lifesaver for us as well.
That's great. I'm going to make sure that my team hears that because they work very hard on that. And I mean, to your point, like this whole idea of it's not a transaction, right? There's buy-in, there's a whole process, and also it's ongoing. I mean, one of the things that I think that the newer technologies, other than like, when you did the on-prem, here I sold it, you implemented, okay, I'll see you next time, right? The whole idea of cloud, the subscription services, the fact that it isn't all one and done, and that there's constant investment and evolution and improvement, not only in the technology and the solution that you bought, but also how you use it. And change management is a constant thing, and it's about how do you get the most out of the latest and greatest, and it's iterative. It's not, I'm done. You're never done because you never stop learning, and the technology never stops evolving and growing and helping you do things in new and better ways and being more efficient. So I think that the whole idea of these newer technologies and the idea that it is not this transactional one and done, and I'll see you, here's my name, right? It's built into that model, and I think that that's really essential for building technology the way that we think about it, and then also partnering with our partners as well as our customers to make sure that there's always value and leverage and constant evolution to get to that next level.